Okay, welcome to the Die House Drumworks. I'm going to be working on a track today called Roof Down. Now this is from the debut grade exam syllabus from Rockschool. So hopefully going to be able to give you a little bit of an insight into how you can get the best out of the piece. But also for those that aren't doing the Rockschool syllabus, give you a few ideas from using this piece of music and some of the ideas that contain in it, give you a few ideas to develop your playing from quite a basic angle. Obviously the debut grade is designed as sort of an intro level of exam to develop playing from a very, very basic place. So the track's called Roof Down. It's in a hip hop style. It's using the main sort of groove from the track. Basic sort of what we would call an eighth note groove or a quaver based groove. Snare drums on 2 and 4, backbeat of 2 and 4, bedrock of rock and pop music really. The introduction uses a very, very simple idea, moving away from the idea of using the snare drum backbeat, so we get this pattern. And it's important, I think, when you listen to something that is a little bit out of the ordinary, or maybe not sort of the more common pattern, whether it's notated or whether you listen to something that's on a CD or an MP3, or that you see someone else play. It's always question what makes it sound different to what perhaps you were expecting to hear. So we're expecting to hear these snare drums on 2 and 4 because that's the norm, but what I get from that is a sense of expectation that something's going to change, we're going to get this full-on pattern coming in later. So that's why that works particularly well for an introduction, which is exactly what we've got here. So there's one thing to sort of consider. Playing patterns, stripping things away, what effect that gives us. Another thing that is quite important in this particular track is sticking patterns. Now when we're playing grooves, it tends to look after itself. If we're right-handed, right hand over left, left hand on the snare. We're going to be playing the hand with the hi-hat with the right hand and the snare drum with the left. Obviously left-handed players would switch that round unless you're playing open-handed, but you'll know about all that yourself anyway if you are a lefty. This is really to do with fills. If we're playing a basic fill round the kit, we can play it in single strokes. If we're playing it slowly, makes total sense to do that all with one hand if we're playing slowly, especially if we're using our stronger hand. Another thing to consider when we're playing basic fills, say for instance we wanted to use a fill that sounds like this, is considering how we're travelling around the kit. Is that the most economical way of doing it? Is it giving me the right sound? So, with that particular fill, mixtures of double strokes might make more sense. The important thing to remember with sticking patterns is that there isn't really a right and wrong way of doing things. Certainly in terms of an exam, you're not going to get marked on the sticking pattern that you use unless there's something that's specifically marked with a particular sticking pattern. You don't tend to see that so much now, but occasionally you will. So go with a sticking pattern that makes sense and experiment a little bit. In this track, we've got these very, very basic eighth note fills in the form of the snare drum beat there and some little accents at the end. A lot of people come unstuck because they get rooted in this method of playing where we're using the right hand on the hi-hats, left hand on the snare, and they feel that that is the only way that we can go about things, even when it comes to fills. But sometimes breaking the rule with that a little bit will make things sit a little bit better for you, so it's worth experimenting. So with the fill at the end of the first line, if you're following the chart, get your book out, have a little look, in the fourth bar. A common sticking pattern would be left, 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 left with the snare drums. But it doesn't always work for everybody. It makes total sense to me if I'm playing eighth notes on the hi-hats in the previous bar. Get your right hand working for you. We don't want to become right hand dependent, and it's certainly something that over time, as you progress on from this level of playing, that you're going to want to involve the left hand more. But certainly while you're learning and getting rhythm together, you're probably going to find it makes more sense to go with the easy option. So I would recommend going with the right hand lead there. Similarly with the ending, the very last bar, you'll find the same sort of thing. So sticking patterns, all important. The other options would be using single strokes. So right, left, right, left. Certainly that would make sense if we were playing faster, but at slower paces, you're probably going to find it easier to get the evenness that you want from this track by doing it with one hand. So either the right or the left.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.